Code compliance has gone through a transition, a friendlier transition, a more civic-minded transition, I guess we'd like to say, than the usual old code enforcement. The biggest change that we've done in code compliance is we have taken a more aggressive stance, but we've reached out for external partnerships to help combat, educate, and make aware violations throughout and within the city. And that's been probably the biggest transition, the biggest success that the Code Compliance Office has undertaken in the last 2 years. Yes. The success has been involving my department with external people such as WTOS, Keep San Angelo Beautiful, and the help of COSA employees with the blitzes. All the blitzes and all the effort provided for by our external partners makes our job easier. It makes our job, people are more aware of what we do, why we exist. Because there is a reason we do exist, and without the help of those individuals and without the help of and the support of upper management with COSA, I don't think code would be at the level that it's at today. So I would rather than I guess talk about the true successes, there's numerous successes, I guess, from a standpoint that I guess we could talk about, but I would rather change that and turn it around to letting people know that it's the individuals that are calling in their complaints. It's our proactive approach to 24-hour responses to those complaints that are the true successes, that are making us more involved with the community, making the community more aware of what we do, and that's an ongoing battle. I don't think the education portion of that side will end, but we are a lot further along than we used to be.
Code enforcement is not always the most popular division in the city. Obviously, nobody wants to get a notice of violation from the city of San Angelo, but it's really necessary to maintain property values, to decrease vandalism, to increase safety and health of our community, and again, to actually increase property values if it's done right. So when we think about what code enforcement does in terms of making sure that junk vehicles are not left in neighborhoods, making sure that grass and weeds aren't growing out of control, that trash and unsightly debris isn't throughout our neighborhoods and throughout our commercial corridors that people drive through every day. Those are things that help us as a community maintain a higher quality of life. Anytime that you have junk and trash piling up, weeds out of control, all of those different things, they actually decrease property values, and studies show this time after time, that when those conditions are present, you actually have increased crime, you have increased vandalism, things like graffiti, and again, all of those things together help lower property values. So we want to really make the city more economically viable, healthier, by having a proactive code office that's really working with the neighborhoods and with the commercial districts to help maintain those property values.
Top code violations usually stay the same. There's not much variance. If you had to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, you would need to use some seasonal factors such as rain for weeds. Obviously right now that is our #1 problem right now in the city of San Angelo is weeds. And granted, we've had a rather wet fall, so that's to be expected. That's rare, as everybody knows. We've had a record number of rainfalls, so the weeds are just everywhere. So that's been our biggest burden right now. But to name the top, the few that we deal with would definitely be weeds. It's definitely junk and unsightly. A lot of people misconstrue junk and unsightly. Those aren't the friendliest terms to describe some of the messes that we run into, but unfortunately that is what the legislation for the state of Texas and our ordinances label an environment that is got an accumulation of discarded materials, furniture, boards, cans, trash. Illegal dumping is a big thing right now with our current economic situations. Many folks are disconnecting the trash service portion of their bill, and unfortunately that trash has to go somewhere, so we're finding a lot of more illegal dumping cases, predominantly on vacant lots. Lots that are kind of away from major thoroughfares, but yet do cause a problem for the residents that butt up to those lots. So illegal dumping, weeds, junk and unsightly, junk vehicles are a big top priority of ours. we have done a transition in code and given that particular job duty to one officer solely, and the proof of his duties have shown and have shined. We've removed and abated many of junk vehicles that otherwise would sit in somebody's property. Those become nuisances for vandalism, for graffiti, fire hazards. So we definitely want to control and eliminate any of the junk vehicle problems that we have within our community. Last but not least, we do have vector breeding, and that's not such a big problem in your fall season, but coming right now through spring and summer, vector breeding is a big problem. People's pools, a lot of the portable plastic pools that are purchased locally end up discarded. Water is left in them. That's grounds for mosquito breeding, and again becomes a problem to the neighborhood to enjoy the backyard setting, after hours or whatever from coming in from work. So those are our major issues that we deal with from a code standpoint on a daily basis.